Hey guys, FTG here, and so I'll be talking about a Heroic Heavy Plasma build for the Heavy class in patch 11.1 of Space Marine 2. Now, the Heroic Heavy Plasma Incinerator has a pretty tremendous damage output. This thing has the Heroic perk effect here, Plasma Hail, and Heavy stance you get an increased rate of fire instead of charge shots. Now, because of this, your weapon becomes fully automatic in Heavy stance, but you cannot do charge shots at all on this weapon. It does not matter if you're in Heavy stance or not, you simply cannot do charge shots on the Heroic Heavy Plasma. But that being said, the damage output of those rapid shots is still very powerful, so still definitely worth tanking. But the unfortunate part of this weapon on top of that is that the ammo economy is god awful. The Heroic Heavy Plasma has the worst ammo economy in the entire game for a plasma gun, in my opinion. I think the only thing that's competing with this is the secondary rate of fire plasma, though I will say, if you are careful with your shots and you do build it properly, you can still fire for quite a while. Now, the first perk I take here is Fast Venting. Weapons cool 15% faster. This perk is kind of useless on this gun, but to be honest, most cooling and overheating perks are kind of useless on this because if you're unaware, the Heroic Heavy Plasma has the ability to instantaneously cool itself if you hit your reload button every single time you fire it in heavy stance. So you will literally never overheat this gun if you do that properly, so just keep that in mind. So all of these perks, like common cooling, rapid cooling, they're just not super useful on this gun, but you know, they're just kind of there to take the other perks we're going for anyway. Next perk here is Contingency Plan. When your ammo reserve is less than 25% of your maximum ammo capacity, melee damage increases by 20%. This perk is a dog shit. We had to pick this one up to go in here into Plasma Collection. Let me pick up the perk Efficient Charge. This perk unfortunately does nothing because on this weapon, all the charge shot perks, they don't do anything for your damage, they don't do anything for your ammo economy. It's one of the reasons this weapon is so ammo inefficient, because Efficient Charge is pretty good at giving you way better ammo efficiency on charge shots, but since you don't have those on this gun, you're just stuck with like the baseline ammo economy, which kind of blows. Next perk here is Adamant Restoration. When your health drops below 30%, your ammo reserves restore by 25% of the maximum capacity. You cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity. The cooldown is 30 seconds. Now this perk is good for ammo economy. Now, unfortunately, again, on this build, I did take a strategic stand here, which is good for giving us no knockback in our heavy stance, because we're not taking the perk over here, Heavy Immunity, on this one, so we don't actually have no knockback in our heavy stance. And having no knockback in heavy stance is pretty damn useful, because without this, you will be knocked around all the time in some certain areas, things like Sword Warrior, stuff like that, which does blow, but hopefully, you know, you'll be able to make up for that by taking a strategic stand. And if you do want to take Fortitude here, for a health increase of 30%, you can do that. You can skip over strategic stand and skip over the heavy immunity perk, just go full ammo economy. But the bigger issue there is that you will not be able to survive certain Sword Warrior combos at times, which does suck, but you will be able to trigger your Adamant Restoration perk more often because you'll have access to things like Fortitude and Conviction, and Fortitude and Conviction make you so damn tanky that being below 30% HP or being around a 30% HP level is not too bad for you. You can trigger this off cooldown very easily. That does help your ammo economy a ton. So if you want to skip over these perks here and not take things like Plasma Collection to up your ammo economy at a baseline, you could take Fortitude and skip over Stand and just have this perk trigger over and over. In some cases that can be better, in some cases that can be worse. Hopefully that makes sense. The point is, this gun's ammo economy kind of sucks. Next weapon here, or next weapon perk here, is Heavy Fire. Moving here to the perk Weapon Strike for a melee damage increase of 50%. Then I pick up the perk Brutal Rampage. After killing 3 enemies or more with one shot, you deal 25% more damage for 5 seconds. This is a pretty damn powerful perk on this weapon. One of the reasons I like to go down the bottom row, because 25% more damage for 5 seconds with how fast it fires is actually pretty substantial, so pretty nice to have. And the final perks I grab are Fast Venting and Plasma Collection for even more ammo reserves in our energy weapon. Now up here, Charge Cooling, I just took this for the lulz because this thing does literally nothing for you on your build. But you know, we have an extra perk point, and all these perks are for heavy for charge shots, which is kind of funny. You know, they didn't really think about that. They kind of reworked this perk tree, but what you gonna do? Now, for the secondary here, I once again take the Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol because we're going for a full plasma build. This weapon has amazing CHP recovery, amazing stagger, amazing damage, and the ammo economy on this also kind of sucks, which is why we take all of our ammo perks and pick up Divine Might for a 10% damage increase, because generally flat damage increases in the game are quite powerful. Now, for the perk tree here, I do take Restoration first. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores an armor segment. The cooldown is 15 seconds. This perk is really good. The fact you get an armor restore on a 15-second cooldown does save your life, and multi-kill does genuinely nothing for this build, and auxiliary ammunition is a garbage perk. You know, in theory, a perk that gives you back ammo could be really nice. Unfortunately, this one sucks. Next perk here I take is Strategic Stand, though you could take Fortitude for the reasons I mentioned before. It really is up to you. And the perk after this is Overwhelming Power. When the Iron Halo is active, all of your squad members within 10 meters deal 10% more range damage. This perk is very nice to have, and also if you combine this perk with the perk over here, Brute Force, when Iron Halo is in cooldown, range damage increases by 15%, you can actually get both of these perks off simultaneously. They will trigger when you have your Iron Halo active, because your Iron Halo will go active, and it'll instantaneously go in cooldown, or it will count as on cooldown, so you get the 15% buff from this, and the 10% buff from this for like a 25% range damage buff, which is pretty nice to have. Next perk here is additional supplies. Ammo capacity for all of your squad members' primary weapons increases by 25%. I just take this because more ammo is pretty nice on this gun. If you want to take Encompassing Aegis, it is definitely better. Now, the perk over here, Power Regulator. This one is kind of a controversial pick. I've had somebody tell me once that Field Adjustment and Power Regulator, they do come out to like the same energy saved as each other, except this one just gives you no loss in your durability, because this one reads, Iron Halo will recharge 20% faster, but its durability is reduced by 25%. It does feel like that statement is true. I have not personally tested whether or not Power Regulator saves you as much as Field Adjustment does, but I think it does feel overall better anyway, so I do pick this one up. Now, Consecutive Execution is the other perk I take here, because a 90-second Melt-A-Bomb, Crack Grenade, Shock Grenade, and Frag, that's just a really useful thing to have in this game. But Melt-A-Bomb save your runs all the time, so Consecutive Execution is a great perk. And the final perk here is Brute Force for the reasons I mentioned before, and the final perk is our good old offensive capability. When active, Iron Halo will deal damage over time to all enemies within 5 meters. This one overperforms all the time. It will pick you up free executes on Majoris, Extremis, and even bosses at times. Free damage is free damage. This one is very nice. I am playing like with a team, but still, even in teams, this one's pretty good. Though I will say, if you want to take Conversion Field instead for an ability charge at 50% faster for all of your teammates, this one's also very good. So definitely pick this one up if you want, but I do like offensive capability a little bit more. Now, for the Prestige perk tree, I do take Auxiliary Reload first, because this one just gives you more ammo for every Extremis kill, and like I said before, and will say many times again, this weapon's ammo economy sucks, so definitely pick this one up, and to be honest, pick this one up for like basically any heavy stance gun in the entire game. Now, next weapon perk here, or Prestige perk, is Reverberating Impact, and then I pick up our good old Indomitable Spirit, and I pick up Duelist, and not Duel. I pick up Conviction, because I think that these four are overall the best. But if you want to pick up Duelist instead of Reverberating Impact, you definitely could. That is up to you, but these are the ones I chose today because damage reduction is godly, ammo economy is godly, no knockback on gun strikes will save your life, and we don't really have a lot of no knockback on this build anyways, unless we take Strategic Stand. So if you are taking Fortitude, definitely take Indomitable Spirit every time, and to be honest, take it every time anyways, because this perk is just that good. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this build, guys. The heavy class is pretty damn powerful, as always. It did nerf the multi-melta double shot in patch 11.0, but to be honest, it was a little bit broken anyways, so I'm not surprised they did that. But the Heavy Plasma Incinerator, pretty damn fun. I don't think the Heroic version is the best version in the entire game, but it is pretty good for some stuff. The Rate of Fire, I think, is still a bit stronger, or the Ammo Economy version, just because getting those charge shots off and Stagger versus Chaos can save your life way more, but having this insane DPS output is pretty funny, and hopefully this build guide helped. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more, and as always, thank you for watching, take it easy, bye.
Engagement reported. Predatory class tyranny eliminated. Iron Halo ready.
This is why I hate lunging my doors, because it interrupts your whole gameplay. They interrupt the whole gameplay loop of the game. Super fun.
Iron Halo online.
There we go. think Lorgar had the shiniest head of all bald heretic Primarchs?
Intercepting projectiles.
Oh, you're right. No. Oops.
Elite level Xenos. Passive up. Fragmentation grenade out. Linked attack turret confirmed. Iron Hero online. Calibrate your aim, brother. Execute Iron Hero tactics. Sins administered.
Oh no, my teammate got. Why did it come down to me? Why would you do that? Why would you all come up? That's okay. We were fine. I wasted my sim there. What an unfortunate event that was.
Eliminated Neurotroop. Preparing disciplinary report. Enhanced tactic ready. The lift will take us to the cannons.
Send me up. Send me up. That's okay. We're at like 5% HP. That's fine. This is fine. I'm gonna take a sim out there. I can't wait wasted that one. It ate my sim.
At the fortress.
Ate the whole ass thing.
My blade will be soaked in Tyranid blood. Smells like fresh munitions. Resupply.
I think I'm gonna hit something here, yeah. Hard to tell.
Iron Hero online. Xenos countermeasures successful.
He is proper artillery. And that's gaming. Hellblaster style? Yeah, Hellblaster volley gun. That's a good reference. The heavy sniper.
You are near the last cannons. You will need to find the manual controls to operate them.
I'm gonna take this.
Control console is within sight.
Defensive cannons active. Targeting system non-functional. Initializing secondary system. Complex connected. Targeting system. As you aim, the service card will relay your target to the system. Revealing all desired state.
Solid hit. The Hierophant aims its weapons at us. That hurt it.
cache. We're probably gonna get one horde here, and that'll be it. Not too bad.
Beneath our boots. Iron Halo and progress. Friendly firewalking beacon. Subterranean turret annihilated. Finish here. Cannons ready. To the Imperium.
Prevent system no longer detected. Engage console to reestablish communication.
I will engage the console. Oh, you got it. Okay.
System link has been established.
They want that. They sure can take it.
Iron Halo ready.
The Titan launches its missiles. Avoid the Tyrannid's explosion. Witness the might of the Imperium. The Tyrannid dares to attack us. Ha! It does me. Do not let the Tyrannid weapon take you.
Oh shit.
Keep away from the Xenos burst.
Searching for target. Minister, fire with your sight on to commence target lock.
High priority.
The Tyrannid dares to attack us. Do not let the Tyrannid's weapon.
I'm returning after like a 6-month hiatus. I'm about to buy my first heroic. Should I get the heavy vulture or plasma for the heavy first? I'm gonna get the heavy vulture. I'm the heavy vulture's like a straight upgrade to all the other heavy vultures. Heavy plasma for like a side grade. Which is what they're supposed to be fair, but
Ammunition restocked.
at long last. What would you say is the percent of stratagems you do with people who didn't read modifiers at all? That's a good question. I'm not sure, because usually I read them out to my chat.
Cannons ready.
That's what I play with. But, with random pubs, I got no clue. Kind of impossible to know, right? How would I know?
Iron Halo online.
Gotcha, thanks. I mean, I think the best heroic to buy overall is the heroic heavy bolt pistol or like Xenophase or Power Gladius. But those weapons are all very good.
Near's death. It expels its pollution. Steer clear of its foul projectiles.
Hey, it's over. That's really not too bad. The buff range damage event's pretty nice.
Take the shot on those damn towers and unleash divine retribution.
You guys, when you bring 91 shots in, you're fine. They put the Price is Right wheel in the game. Pretty funny thing. We'll see how much damage that was, though, in this 15-minute loading screen. A lot of damage.